Happy Mindset Monday! This is my favorite day of the week. I love a new week. I love a fresh start. I'm sorry if the lighting's a little weird here. I'm trying to sit in front of a ring light and a window because it's rainy out and trying to get out of setting out my big, huge lights. So I don't know, I guess we're gonna go with it. I hope you're enjoying these Mindset Monday videos. I'm really enjoying filming them. I feel like we're just kind of sitting here having a little conversation about one of my very favorite topics, which is mindset. And if you missed the first two, I will link them down below. And you can also find any mindset video I've ever done in my playlist that's called Growth Mindset. So I will go ahead and link that down below as well. And I told you before that some of the Mindset Monday videos may be directly related to money and some of them may be indirectly, because while I do talk about mostly money here on my channel, I truly believe that it's all connected and it's all intertwined. And I believe, like it or not, money touches every single part of our lives, and that our money choices, our money decisions are very much fueled by emotions and stress and all of the other things that are going on in our life as well. So I believe when you improve your financial situation, that you can improve all other areas of your life. And conversely, I also believe that when all other areas of your life are improved and doing better, that can also positively impact your financial situation. So, all right, hope that makes sense. Let me know in the comments if you've been enjoying this series, what your thoughts are, if you would like me to continue on with it or what, and let's just jump right in. So here is this week's Mindset Monday topic. One of my issues with being in this financial space, money space, is you have a couple of the really big dogs, right? The really big financial gurus. And listen, they're big and popular for a reason. You know, they're polarizing, their advice works, their systems work. And I'm not really here to talk about any one specific guru or figure or influencer or anything. What I want to talk about is that pressure that I think a lot of people feel, especially people that are maybe newer to the journey to improving their finances. Maybe you more recently decided that this is something you'd like to kind of take on and make changes in your life with your finances. And I know I fell victim to this in the beginning of my journey, which was I felt pressured that I had to do things the way XYZ person said I had to do things, or I couldn't be successful with my finances, right? So I had to budget the way they said I had to budget. I had to save my money the way they said I had to save. I had to invest according to the parameters that they set up for investing. And if I didn't, then I just wasn't going to be able to be successful and ever get out of debt and ever begin to build wealth and ever be able to retire comfortably. And I'm here to tell you that's not the case. Any system, any tried and true, proven successful system out there, whether we're talking about finances, whether we're talking about diets or weight loss, whether we're talking about training for a marathon, most successful, reputable systems out there are going to work if you work it, right? If you follow the rules, if you stick to the system, if you put in the work, if you stay consistent. However, that doesn't mean that that's the only way you can be successful, okay? I believe that it's really important in the beginning to find a system that resonates with you, because I think it really does, you know, it'll do a good job of kind of laying out the ground rules for you and kind of illuminating that path ahead of you and different steps that you can take. But I also believe that once you begin and you really get to understand your finances and learn your finances, and you start to get a really good handle on your numbers and your money and your income and your budget, that you then need to be able to advocate for yourself and your own financial situation. So I think once you learn enough to really understand what's going on, it's okay if you want to take your own path, right? It's okay if you want to budget at a different interval than the guru tells you you have to budget at, right? The important part is that you're budgeting, that you're paying attention to where your money is coming and going from, that you are paying attention to your spending, that you're doing it consistently, that you're following through and reconciling your budget each month, that you are aware of your money habits and what's triggering said habits. That's what's important, not necessarily that you are following exactly the way other people are laying things out for you to do. There's a saying, there's more than one way to skin a deer. I've also heard it said there's more than one way to skin a cat. No matter which way you say it, I think it's gross. I'm an animal lover and I don't want to think about skinning animals, but we're being metaphorical here, right? And the point is, there are many, many paths to get to the same destination. And the destination I'm speaking of right now in this video is financial freedom, okay? So you can choose your own path. As long as you're not doing anything illegal and you're not bothering or hurting anybody else, it doesn't matter if you don't want to follow somebody else's path, okay? You may need to take a detour here and you may need to take a detour there, and maybe you don't want to buy a house at a specific time in your financial transformation, right? Or maybe you don't have kids and you don't need to save for college, or maybe you do have kids and you don't want to save for college. It's okay. So I just think it can be a harmful mindset to put ourselves in these little boxes and tell ourselves that if we make a mistake or we stray or we need a break or we want to pivot and change course, that we're doing something wrong and we can't possibly be successful because we've now kind of diverged from that path to success. Sorry for so many air quotes this week. That's a lot of air quotes, but I challenge you to really take a look at the different things that you're doing in your life. And again, especially financially speaking, but this can apply to so many other areas of your life as well. And just really see what part of what you're doing just doesn't feel aligned to you, right? Like, it's hard to think of an example, but when I first started budgeting, we did our budget on monthly basis, right? So for example, I just prepared July's budget. So back in the day, I would have created our budget from July 1st to July 31st. But here's the thing. We were really having a hard time managing it and maintaining it, and it just wasn't clicking. So we were doing okay, right? We were being consistent. We were sticking to the budget-ish. We were kind of learning and making our mistakes and fumbling our way through, but it just wasn't clicking. It wasn't really feeling super comfortable. And what happened was, a couple months in, I then started budgeting according to my husband, who was making the most money, according to his pay schedule. So he was paid every other week. He still is now. But what I started doing is splitting our budget into two separate budgets. So I was doing the first half of the month, which was essentially his first paycheck. And then we were doing a budget for the second half of the month, which was essentially his second paycheck. Now that made things better, but something just still wasn't quite clicking for us, okay? And I was hesitant to do that because that's not what I learned. That's not the way I learned that we were supposed to budget. So eventually, somehow I decided to kind of switch the dates of the first half and second half, and I just made the dates exactly his pay dates. So if you go to my budgeting playlist here on my YouTube channel, you will find a ton of different videos. And like I said, a couple months in, we then started budgeting each paycheck according to the specific paycheck dates. So each budget covered 2 weeks. However, it was 2 weeks according to the way my husband was paid. It wasn't the 1st through the 15th and the 15th to the 30th. Now, if that's how he was paid, that's how I would have budgeted. But the interesting part about this is, at the time, I was doing budgeting videos, and it's kind of funny to admit this because it feels a little fraudulent, But what I was actually doing was still filming the videos. So I was basically doing my budget twice, once for myself, our real budget, there's those air quotes again, and then once for the video, because I felt that the way we were budgeting wasn't the right way. So as somebody here on YouTube, I was worried if I did these budgeting videos showing the way we were changing our budget dates around and matching them to my husband's pay, that people were going to be learning the wrong way. And I was going to be teaching somebody the wrong way. And that was going to reflect badly on me and my business and my channel. And guess what? It doesn't. When I finally was like, this is silly. I don't have the time to do 2 budgets, to do my own and then a whole like fake one to film. And I finally, it was actually last July of 2020, I finally said, that's it. I'm going to show exactly how I do it. And if some people don't like it, that's okay, because guess what? When we started budgeting that way, it finally clicked. It finally made the difference for us between these numbers that felt like they were what we were supposed to be doing, but didn't really ever feel like they were actually applying to our specific financial situation. I hope this makes sense. I feel like I'm talking in circles here. Please let me know in the comments if this isn't making sense to you, and I will try to clarify. But my point is that one small shift that I was scared to make, and then scared that people would know I had made it, is really what made all the difference in the world for us. It's really when we were starting to really make progress. It's really when we started to really be able to stick to our budget. Don't get me wrong, we still made mistakes all the time, but it's really when the numbers felt right to us and it felt aligned and it felt like a system that worked for us. Now, that's not to say you can't budget from the 1st to the 30 or 31st. You can do whatever feels like it works best for you. So again, I'm always saying here on my channel and over on Instagram that keep it simple, right? So I truly believe that when we overcomplicate things, it leads to confusion, which is exactly what was happening for me when I was trying to budget month beginning to month end. It seemed to make sense on paper, but when we were trying to implement it in real life, the numbers felt confusing. The numbers felt jumbled. It just didn't seem to make sense and it felt overcomplicated. And when you overcomplicate things, it will lead to confusion, and eventually confusion will lead to failure. And that is what I think happened to us so many times years before when we had tried to budget. Again, everything would look okay, it would seem okay, but it just never stuck. We could never quite figure it out. It never quite clicked. And eventually we'd just get confused, frustrated, and we'd give up. And I don't want to see that happen to you. I don't want to see you feeling guilty or shameful because you feel that something everybody out there is telling you to do just isn't the right decision for you, or it's not the right move for you. So it's okay. Here's your permission to change your mindset on that. I encourage you to do so. I think not only is it freeing, but I think you will for sure have more success in whatever you are trying to accomplish when you're able to really find the path that works best for you. So that is my mindset shift for you this week. I hope you're enjoying these videos. Again, let me know. I don't want to make them if you hate them and they suck. If you do like them and you like watching videos on other things, personal finance, make sure you subscribe to my channel. I would love to have you as part of my family here on YouTube. If you are looking for a complete financial transformation, I hope you will check out my course. It's called Makeover Her Money. It's linked down in the description box. And if you have any questions, any comments, I'd love to hear from you. And thank you so much for watching today. I hope you have a great day. Bye.